Have you ever felt let down? Or, just wondered how to find your footing when the world feels like it's shifting under your feet? Well, today we're going to dig into a really powerful philosophy for building an unbreakable kind of inner strength, all drawn from a series of profound, hard-hitting ideas. Let's get right into it. Our journey kicks off right here with a statement that is just full of weariness, but also incredible strength. It's all about making a pivot. It's saying, yeah, the past hurt, the betrayals were real, but then, boom, the focus immediately shifts to the future. It's not about getting even. It's about taking all that energy and pointing it toward a new opportunity. This is really step one, turning pain into purpose. So first things first, we have to look at the source of that pain, right? Betrayal. It's this universal, sharp sting you feel when trust is just shattered. But you know what? It can also be a really powerful teacher. Wow, what a picture that paints. This isn't really about losing a few coins, is it? It's about losing the illusion of support. It shows you, with brutal honesty, just how fast those fair-weather friends and family can vanish the second you hit a rough patch. The loyalty you thought you had? Gone, faster than loose change. And that leads us to this huge insight. Hardship doesn't create disloyalty, it just reveals it. See, when everything's going great, it's easy for people to stick around. But adversity? That's like a giant spotlight. It shines a light on who's genuinely in your corner and who was just along for the easy ride. And this just perfectly captures the deepest kind of hurt. The initial problem, the fire, might come from some outside force, a stranger. But the real gut punch, that comes from seeing the people you considered your own, your inner circle, actually benefiting from your misfortune instead of grabbing a bucket to help. That's a betrayal that truly stings. So the first principle here is clear. Use the pain of betrayal as a lens to see who people really are. Okay, so if betrayal reveals the truth, then hard times are pretty much the final exam. It's a messy, chaotic process for sure, but it can give you this incredible, almost shocking sense of clarity. What's so powerful about this idea is how true it is. It's easy to be a good person when it costs you nothing. But bad times, they apply pressure. And it's under that pressure that a person's real nature, their integrity, their loyalty, their true character, comes out into the open. And this just takes that idea one step further. I mean, think about it. We can know people for years, right? We know their names, their jobs, what they like to eat. But do we really know their story, their core? Not until we see how they act when things get tough. That's when you meet the real person. And because of all that, this philosophy argues that your most valuable asset isn't what's in your bank account. It's your memory. Not for holding grudges, but for keeping a clear record of people's true character. Remembering who people have shown you they are, well, that's a currency that's worth way more than money. And that's our second key takeaway. Real wealth is having an accurate memory of character, not cash. So after you've looked at the world and the people in it with clear eyes, the focus has to turn inward. This whole philosophy really leads to one simple conclusion. The only truly reliable foundation you have is the one you build for yourself. This right here is the goal. Self-reliance isn't about shutting yourself off from the world. It's about building an identity that can stand on its own 2 feet. It's a sense of self that doesn't depend on who you know, or what you've been given, or who owes you one. It's earned. This is basically the mantra of a self-reliant person. There is just so much power and freedom in knowing that your place in this world is one you carved out for yourself. It gives you this quiet confidence that just can't be shaken by what other people think or do, because they didn't build it for you in the first place. And here's a fascinating byproduct of that self-reliance: courage. When you aren't depending on anyone else for your identity or your well-being, you can afford to speak the truth, even when it's tough or bitter. You're not scared of rocking the boat because, hey, you are your own boat. So that's principle number 3. Cultivate a self-reliance so deep that your identity is earned, not borrowed. That'll give you the freedom to be fearlessly honest. But this inner strength also needs wisdom. It's not just about being a fortress. It's about being a vigilant guardian. You've got to know when to be on guard and have the courage to act on it. Now, this is a pretty stark warning. An open enemy? They're predictable. But someone who used to be a friend and now feels wronged, their knowledge of your weak spots, combined with their pain, makes them unpredictable and potentially way more dangerous. It's a call to be really aware of the complexity of broken relationships. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful piece of this entire philosophy. After all the observing, all the internal strengthening, there comes a time when you have to take decisive action. Let's break down this central metaphor because it's so important. The nail, that represents any recurring problem in your life. It could be a toxic relationship, a bad habit, some obstacle that keeps tripping you up. Anything that repeatedly causes you that little prick of pain. The hammer, on the other hand, is the solution. And it's not a tool for random violence. It's a tool for direct, targeted, decisive action. And there it is, the call to action. This is about ending the cycle of suffering. Instead of just putting up with that constant nagging pain from the nail, this philosophy urges you to gather your strength and deal with the problem head-on and permanently. Now let's be super clear. This is not a call for anger or aggression. It's a call for courage. It's about having the clarity to see the source of a recurring problem and the strength to implement a final solution, to end it so you can finally move forward. This leads us to our last powerful takeaway. Don't just endure the things that hurt you over and over. Solve them. True strength is having the courage to take decisive, permanent action. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Take a look at your own life, at the things that cause you that persistent pain or just keep holding you back. Which of them are the nails? And maybe more importantly, after building up that inner strength and getting that clarity, when is it time for you to finally become the hammer?